Hello everyone, welcome to Let's Crack UPSC CSE English. About me, I am Sandeep Bhushan Thummala and my credentials are I have 10 years of teaching experience for civil services. I teach international relations, internal security and in-depth analysis of editorials and articles. And this session will help you by making sure that I will incorporate or imbibe the keywords and the key phrases by emphasizing the keywords and the key phrases. We will come to an arrival that how this can be make sure that the keywords and the key phrases will be helpful in identifying the factual and analytical questions for the prelims point of view. So definitely the keywords and the key phrases which I would be emphasizing throughout the explanation or throughout the session will make you understand how best we can identify the factual and prelims analytical questions for the prelims point of view, and also in regards to the answer writing, that is in making sure that we imbibe the practice of the keywords and the key phrases in your answers, that is for the mains examinations, wherein your answers would be precise and concise. And once your answers are precise and concise, then you will definitely score high marks in the mains examinations, because that is what the UPSC will be demanding from you, that is your answers to be precise and concise. And your answers would be precise and concise only when you are imbibing the keywords in the key phrases. So certainly my session will help you in regards to helping to crack the prelims and mains both for 2020 as well as 2021. Prior to that, you have a notification in regards to Let's Crack UPSC CSE English, wherein it is India's largest learning platform, and once you get subscribed, you will have unlimited live and recorded courses from the India's best educators. And the privileges you get once you subscribe are the daily live classes, live tests and quizzes, structured courses, and unlimited access to the live and recorded courses. And these are the educators which you can see it on your screen. And in regards to Let's Crack UPSC CS English, the courses offered are economy, environment and ecology, current affairs and all others which you can also see it on your screen. Along with that, you have the essay writing, internal security, social issues, part of the UPSC CSE English courses which is offered by Unacademy. And the Let's Crack UPSC CSE English subscription, you have 12 months of subscription wherein the original price is 44,000, and you can use my code SBT10, that is Sandeep Bhushan Thummala, to avail 10% discount on the original price which is 44,000, and the discounted price, once you use my code SBT, you can avail 10% and the discounted price would be 39,600. So along with the 12 month subscription, you have 24 month subscription wherein the original price is 64,000. Do use my code SBT10, that is Sandeep Bhushan Thummala 10, to avail 10% off on the original price, that is 64,000, and the discounted price would be 57,600. So do use my code SBT10, that is Sandeep Bhushan Thummala, to avail 10% on 44,000 on 12 months, that is for you will get it only for 39,600. And you can also use my code SBT10, that is do not forget to use my code SBT10 to avail 10% on the 24 month subscription on the original price 64,000, and you will get it only for 57,600. And now this session is in regards to the in-depth analysis of the trending editorials and article. I would be re-emphasizing and emphasizing and reiterating on the keywords and the key phrases, which is my tagline. That is, keywords and the key phrases are my tagline, and which will be certainly useful for prelims as well as mains examinations. And before I get into the topic, I would say very good morning to the one who are in live and also in the live chat. So definitely very good morning to Chetan, and also good morning to Ellen Brothers. Very good morning to you, Ellen Brothers. I suppose you are, what you say, attending my class for the first time. Very good morning to you, Ellen Brothers. Can I know your name if you are comfortable with? Now I'll get into the topic, that is today's article topic. You have the crop of ironies, that is in regards to the kind of, you have the sarcasm or the mockery. So definitely the author is talking about the food security and the farmers welfare. So definitely the entire article is talking about the food security, that is in regards to the how the farmers will go ahead with producing, and then in regards to the Essential Commodities Act, what are the amendments made to the Essential Commodities Act, and how this acts, various Essential Commodities Act, how it has been impacted the agricultural produce marketing companies, and in regards to the mandis and how the farmers are being benefited, and what are the different kinds of reforms in the entire in the agriculture sector itself. So definitely we will look at the various reforms which are being there, and then in regards to the amendments to the Essential Commodities Act 1955, which are included it is in regards to the cereals, and also in regards to the fertilizers we'll look at it, and also the way the agricultural produce marketing committee also there. Now there is a amendment that the farmers need not really get into the mandis and go ahead with purchase, I mean selling their product, but they can go ahead with selling it at different points, like for example Raitu Bazaar or different private mandis. So definitely the farmers are being taken into consideration that they will be getting their produce, I mean whatever they have invested in the during the in that is in regards to the agriculture, when they were gone ahead with harvesting, and prior to that in regards to the entire process, agriculture process, they have gone ahead. So definitely we will look at various things, various scenarios wherein the agricultural sector has gone ahead with, or Indian agriculture sector, the reforms also. So definitely this will be a very useful session for prelims as well as mains examinations. So very good morning to Venkatesh, David, Paul, and Satya. Very good morning to you all. And then today we'll be discussing a topic which will be very useful for mains examination as well as prelims. That is in regards to the Essential Commodities Act, and also in regards to the Agriculture Produce Market Committee. So definitely now we'll look at, that is the because of the pandemic situation, because of the COVID-19 pandemic situation and the spread of the virus, the government was forced to go ahead with taking a long-standing overdue agrarian reform. So definitely there is, and what do you say, agrarian reforms which has taken place, that is in regards to the agriculture reforms which has been taken place, and the government was definitely in a position, or it was forced to take the decision because of the devastating pandemic situation what has engulfed the entire farmers in regards to the way the COVID-19 has impacted the agrarian sector itself, impacted the agrarian sector. So thereby the government was forced to go ahead with an overdue agrarian reform. So agrarian reforms or agricultural reforms is the one which is very important for the prelims and well as mains examinations, and Mastan Rao Devarkonda is also joined. Very good morning to you, Mastan Rao Devarkonda. And then today we are discussing about this article, Masandra, for you. This is the article which the heading talks about crop of irony. So we will be discussing about the food security and the farmers welfare. So when we are discussing, or when we will be looking at the food security and also the farmers welfare. So in this regard, food security and the farmers welfare, we will be focusing on the agricultural reforms. We will be focusing on the agricultural reforms. We will be focusing on the Essential Commodities Act. So definitely how the agriculture reforms have impacted, or in regards to the Essential Commodities Act, and also we'll look at the Agriculture Produce Marketing Committee along with Essential Commodities Act, and then we will be looking at the food security and the farmers welfare. So definitely all these keywords and the key phrases are very important. Please try to, what do you say, put it in your, or make a note in your answer book or in your notebook, so that it will be very useful for the prelims as well as mains examination. So in regards to all this, we would be focusing on the agricultural reforms or agrarian sector itself. So we will focus on the agrarian sectors and how the COVID-19 pandemic situation has forced the government to go ahead with the long-standing reforms which were supposed to take place but which haven't been taken place, and now the government was forced to take up the agrarian or agricultural reforms, and the amendments have been made to the Essential Commodities Act 1955. So definitely on the mix, or else on behalf of the agricultural reforms, there was amendment be done to the Essential Commodities Act 1955. Essential Commodities Act 1955. So this is again very important for the prelims point of view. Essential Commodities Act 1955, and the finance minister recently, because of the situation of the COVID-19 pandemic situation, and then the economic stimulus package where the prime minister and then the finance minister has come up with the how the various sectors have been protected because of the COVID-19 pandemic situation in various or 5 phases. So in that, one of the reason, or one of the phase the government or the finance minister has concentrated is onto the agricultural reforms, emphasizing on the Essential Commodities Acts, emphasizing on the amendments to the, one of the agricultural reforms is amendment to the Essential Commodities Act 1955, and also the other one is in regards to the dismantling of Agricultural Produce Marketing Committee. Please do understand, this is dismantling in the sense removing the Agricultural Produce Marketing Committee. Please do understand, one is in regards to the Essential Commodities Act, amendment to the Essential Commodities Act 1955, and the second one is dismantling of the Agriculture Produce Committee which is existing. So these two are the one which are really into action, wherein the farmers will definitely get some kind of relief in regards to the amount they have invested in during the agriculture time, and then how much they are getting or in return while it is during the harvesting or post harvesting, when they are getting into the market, open market that is the market committees, and then when they are selling, how much money they are making or how much profit they are making. So definitely now the situation will be in favor of the farmers, wherein they will get the amount of efforts, the amount and then the efforts which have been put during the agriculture, and then what is happening or what is they getting or what is that they are actually into the mode of uh, having their income doubled, because our Prime Minister Narendra Modi has made it very clear that the farmers income will be doubled by 2022. So definitely it is a farmers welfare when the finance minister has focused on the farmers welfare, because our Prime Minister Narendra Modi has made it very clear that the farmers agriculture or farmers income will be doubled by 2022. So when it has to be doubled, so there has to be agriculture reforms. Please do understand this from the mains point of view. The main intention is to make sure that the Prime Minister's Narendra Modi, the Indian Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi wanted to go ahead with increasing or doubling the farmers' income by 2022, doubling the farmers' income by 2022. And how this can happen? Because of the agricultural reforms, which are long-standing or long overdue agrarian reforms which were pending, and because of the devastating pandemic situation which the India has faced it, and now the government was forced to go ahead with agricultural reforms. And how the agricultural reforms have taken place? By amendment to the Essential Commodities Act 1955 and dismantling of the Agriculture Produce Market Committee. And these two are very very important. Please do understand, while writing the exam, while you are writing the mains, these two key phrases or the key quotes are very very important. Essential Commodities Act 1955 amendment, and then in regards to the dismantling of the Agriculture Produce Market Committee. And there were several long-term changes that have been made to the agriculture sector, and along with that, that is fair pricing, and then in regards to the e-trading, please do understand, please make a note in your answers all this, and then liquidity measures. So definitely the one first and foremost is in regards to agriculture reforms. What is that? Is the amendment to the Essential Commodities Act 1955, dismantling the Agriculture Produce Marketing Committee. Fair pricing, that is to the agriculture sector, especially in regards to the agriculture sector. Fair pricing, that means the prices has to be fair in regards to, again, what the farmers income to be doubled by 2022. And then has also come into the existence of coming up with the e-trading and also into the liquidity measures. That means the liquidity, that is the money should be surplus, or at least the money should be in surplus in regards to the agriculture sector itself. So definitely fair prices, e-trading, and then liquidity measures have been taken up by the finance ministers to make sure that the farmers income will be doubled by 2022 by agricultural reforms, and the center has also encouraged the state government. So definitely here the sixth one is also in regards to the encouraging the state governments, encouraging the state governments to adopt three model laws, So what are these three model laws is also we will look at it, because it is very very important in regards to the agricultural or agrarian reforms, or in regards to the agrarian reforms. Please do understand, the sixth one is the center has encouraged the state government. The center has, or the central governments has encouraged the state government to adopt the three model laws. So what are the three model laws? One is the contract farming, and the second one is agricultural land leasing, and the third one is marketing. And these are very very important. And Madhu has joined. Very good morning to you, Madhu. Today we are discussing about the topic or the article which talks about crop of ironies, that is focusing on the food security and the farmer welfare. So when we are talking about the food security, that is in regards to the citizens food security, and the farmers welfare, that is in regards to the farmers doubling of the farmers income by 2022, wherein our Prime Minister Narendra Modi has come up with an action plan to double the farmers income by 2022. So definitely we are looking at the agrarian reforms, that is reforms in the agriculture sector. So what is the first agricultural sector reform? Amendment to the Essential Commodities Act 1955. Second one is dismantling the Agriculture Produce Marketing Committee, and the third one is in regards to the agricultural sector. Changes in the agriculture sector is fair pricing extremely sorry, e-trading, introducing of e-trading, and also liquidity measures. That means the money has to be circulated more in the agriculture sector. And the sixth one is the central government is encouraging state government to follow or to adopt the three model laws. And this is very, very important. Again, key phrase or the keyword for the prelims and mains point of view. And what are the three model laws? That is in regards to the contract farming, and these are all very, very important. Please do understand, for mains point of view, all these have to be definitely in your answer. It makes very, very impressive. That is, the three model laws are contract farming, agricultural land leasing, and marketing. So definitely this is the one which is very, very important. These are the basics on which we will be discussing everything, how the farmers welfare and food security will be, what is it, dependent on the agricultural reforms. And now we will look at this 1999 movement for agriculture. So I have taken other information also which will be very, very useful for you in regards to the mains point of view. So definitely the finance minister Sitaraman has hailed some of the 1999 movement for agriculture. So definitely now the 2020 agricultural reforms which were taken is the other one. Previous is the in the year 1991. So definitely 1991 there was movement for agriculture, and that movement for agriculture is very important. That this now the finance minister is talking about the reforms in the agricultural marketing. Now we have looked at agricultural reforms, we have looked at, and in then especially we are focused on agricultural sector, and now we will be focusing on the agricultural marketing. Please do understand, I would repeat once again, agricultural reforms. In that agricultural reforms, first we looked at agriculture sector, and now we are looking at agricultural marketing. I will again once again go back to the, see here we are looking at the several long-term changes have been made to the agricultural sector. So in the agrarian reforms, agriculture sector is one more. I mean, it's a part of the agricultural reforms. What the changes made in the agricultural sector in the agricultural reforms? Again, in that agricultural sector, what? Fair pricing, e-trading, along with the liquidity measures. And now we will look at the reforms in agricultural marketing. Please do understand, agriculture sector, agricultural marketing, total agricultural reforms. Are you please getting the point? And the earlier one which was taken up, the agricultural movement for agriculture has taken place was in the year 1991, and now the 2020. So definitely while you are writing the answer, it is very important that you need to mention the kind of reforms which have been taken up in 1991 along with what you are mentioning in the 2020, which has been brought up by the finance minister Nirmala Sitharaman, talking about the agricultural reforms in the agricultural marketing. So definitely now we will be focused on the AMPC. So agriculture reforms, that is three reforms have been taken up in the Agricultural Marketing Reforms Committee Act. That is one is in regards to this, and then as I've said, in regards to Essential Commodities Act, and then third one is contract farming. So especially in the entire agricultural reforms, first one is Agricultural Produce Marketing Committee, and again reforms in the Essential Commodities Act, and the third one is the contract farming. How the farmers will be helpful in making sure that their income will be doubled by 2022. How their income will be doubled by 2022, wherein our Prime Minister Narendra Modi is focusing on the doubling the farmers income by 2022. So definitely the first one, the three reforms is, the first one is Agriculture Produce Marketing Committee reforms, and then Essential Commodities Act 1955, and the third one is the contract farming. And these three keywords have to be in your answer while you are writing for the mains point of view. And then definitely they are coming up with the substantial reforms in the many states. So definitely here I have focused on what the central government is encouraging the state governments to follow, or to adopt. That is the three model laws. What are the three model laws? As I said, one is again what we have discussed, that is contract farming, agricultural land leasing, and then the marketing. So definitely it's part of again the APMC. It is part of APMC. So definitely how the state also should get into the agricultural marketing reforms in the agricultural produce marketing committees in the state level also. And we have seen again, this is very important for prelims as also what you say mains point of view. Why you are trying to make it what you say statistics, you are putting the statistics wherein you are making it very clear that how it will be very useful, that your answer would be very effective. And then Shiva Education has joined. Very good afternoon, good morning to you, Shiva. And then today we are talking about this one, crop of ironies, wherein we are talking about the food security and farmer welfare, and then reforms in the agriculture sector, focusing on the Essential Commodities Act, amendment to the Essential Commodities Act, and also in regards to the making sure that we are also looking at the agriculture produce marketing committee reforms, and also the contract farming, so this is for you, Shiva. We have joined little late, so I'm making it you to understand what topic are we discussing today, so that you will not be in what you say vague situation. Where are we linking? So definitely yes, it is in regards to the food security and the farmers welcome, wherein or Narendra Modi, I mean our Prime Minister Narendra Modi has spoken about doubling the farmers income by 2022. So all these agriculture reforms, food security, farmers welfare are in regards to the doubling the farmers income by 2022. So the first comprehensive model act on APMC, or APMC is what? Agriculture Produce Market Committee. So first it was introduced, or it has come up in the year 2003, and then later on reforms have taken place, and it has extended, I mean reforms have taken place again in 2007, and then 2013, 2017, and now 2020. So definitely 2017 by the present government they have taken, and now the 2020. So definitely the earlier reforms which have been taken up, or the first comprehensive model act of APMC was in the year 2003, and later on similar or more reforms have taken place to the agriculture produce marketing committee, which has actually initiated or which has come up in the year 2003, and later on 2007 reforms, 2013 reforms, 17 reforms, and now 2020 reforms. So definitely these are all very important in regards to making sure that when the comprehensive model on the APMC have come up into existence for the agriculture produce marketing committee. And we will also look at the other one, that is in regards to black marketing fertilizers. So when we are talking about the farmers, and when we are talking about the Essential Commodities Act, definitely we will also focus. Again, this is not in today's newspaper. Please do understand what I have discussed. This is additional information. This entire slide is additional information. It is not in today's newspaper. It is not in today's article. Fine. And this is also additional information. This is also additional information which is not part of today's newspaper or article. So these are all I'm giving you additional information, because you will be having a thorough information in regards to what is, how we need to write, or how we need to go ahead with framing an answer in regards to the agrarian reforms or agricultural reforms, and how the food security and then the farmers welfare, keeping in mind the Prime Minister's focus on doubling the farmers income by 2022. So along with that, the black marketing of fertilizers. So when we are talking about the amendment to the Essential Commodities Act 1955, so definitely the amendments have taken place into the Essential Commodities Act 1955, and we will be talking about the fertilizers. So definitely there is a sense of what is a black marketing which is happening in regards to fertilizers and also seeds. So definitely now, as the cases in regards to black marketing of fertilizers have taken place at a large scale, black marketing has taken place, and that has come to the notice of the government. And when it has come to the notice of the government, especially which has been reported both by the state governments and the union territory, so the central government has decided to declare fertilizer as an essential commodity. Please do understand. So because of the black marketing which has taken place at what is a large scale, and which has been reported by the state governments and by the union territories to the central government, and then the central governments have decided that the fertilizers will be declared as part of the Essential Commodity Act 1955, and this is very important for the mains point of view. Please do understand, whatever I am focusing is for the prelims as well as mains, because which among the following has been declared as an Essential Commodity Act of 1955 and Notified Fertilizer Order FCO 1985 and Fertilizers Movement Control Order 1973 under Essential Commodities Act. If he is giving fertilizers, seeds, fertilizers and seeds, none of the above. Why? It is only fertilizers. It is not seeds. Neither it is fertilizers and seeds. And this is very, very important. So the government has declared fertilizers as an essential commodity act in regards to the ECA 1955, and also it has been notified in the Fertilizers Control Order 1985. One is 1955 Essential Commodities Act, and then Fertilizers Control Order 1985, and then the other one, that is third one, is Fertilizers Movement Control Order 1973, and these are all very, very important for prelims, as well as you have to mention it in your mains examinations, means what you say, answer writing. So please do take it into consideration that fertilizer has been declared as the Essential Commodities Act under the Essential Commodities Act, and then Fertilizers Commodity Act 1985, and then Fertilizers Movement Control Order 1973. Very, very important. Please do take it into consideration, because I am giving all this additional information for you for the sake of what you say, prelims as well as mains examinations, because there will be a question in regards to the agriculture. There will be a question in regards to the compulsory question in regards to the agriculture, and then the government is focusing on the, or has gone ahead with the agricultural reforms and then the amendments to the Essential Commodities Act. So thereby it is very important for you to focus on in regards to the black marketing of fertilizers, and then the fertilizers have been brought under or declared as an Essential Commodities Act, and then state governments have been adequately empowered. So here the state governments have been adequately empowered by the central governments. Why? To make sure that what is happening in regards to the selling of the fertilizers. So definitely the state governments had to look at the MRP of the fertilizers. I mean, at what prices the fertilizers have been sold, and then that is in regards to the selling. The state governments have to be should look into the selling of the fertilizers, and then they should also stop the smuggling. They should also stop the smuggling of the fertilizers, and also any kind of diversions of fertilizers. So selling of the fertilizers only with the MRP rate, and then making sure that the stopping of the smuggling of the fertilizers should be controlled by the state governments, and then diversion of any fertilizers have been, if they have been taking place, then the state governments have to take it, because the central government has adequately empowered the state governments to look into the MRP of the fertilizers, selling of the fertilizers at an MRP, and then stopping any kind of smuggling in regards to fertilizers and diversion of fertilizers which are taking place. So definitely the state governments have been adequately empowered to make sure that MRP of the fertilizers have been strictly adhered, and the state governments have been also empowered to go ahead with searches, make seizures, that means to take any kind of actions, punitive actions against the one who are violating against the FCO 1985 and then the Essential Commodities Act 1985. That is definitely in regards to the three, because as it has been declared under, I mean, fertilizer has been declared under ECA 1955, FCO 1985 and MCO 1973. So whenever there is any kind of what you say, the situation that it has been sold above the MRP, and then smuggling is taken place and diversion is taken place, so definitely the states are also empowered to go ahead with searching, make seizures, that means take entire control of the stock. If they find two, what do you say, if in the raids if they find, they can seize the entire and then take appropriate action, punitive action against the persons who are violating the FCO 1985, ECA 1955, FMCO 1973 acts. So I think you are getting the point very well. So this is how you need to focus in regards to the mains point of view. And what I am saying is, this is additional information which is not in today's newspaper. And then following up steps, definitely the state governments have been, I mean, the central government has come up with the fertilizers, introducing or getting into or bringing it into the Essential Commodities Act. And what are the following steps taken to check the black marketing, smuggling or diversion of fertilizers? Are these are the steps. So what are the steps taken? So you can also put it 1 or 2 steps while you are trying to write in the examination, that is in the mains point of view. What are the steps taken by the central government to check the black marketing, smuggling and diversion of fertilizers, because fertilizers has been brought into or been included into Essential Commodities Act 1955. And along with this, you can also write the following steps taken to stop or to check the black marketing, smuggling and diversion of the fertilizers. So definitely they have come up with the online web-based monitoring system. This is very important keyword. The government has come up with the all over the country online web-based monitoring system, and it is called as Integrated Fertilizer Monitoring System, IFMS. IFMS. SR Gurjar has also joined. Very good morning, Gurjar. And then you are little late, but still, we are discussing about this topic, that is crop of ironies, wherein we are focusing on the food security and the farmer welfare. The author talks about it, and we will be discussing, and we are discussing in regards to the agricultural reforms. Agriculture reforms in the agriculture or agrarian sector, that is in regards to the amendments to the Essential Commodities Act, and also to the agriculture produce marketing committees, and then the contract farming, so definitely we are looking into all this, Sir Gurjar. So for the better understanding, you can also watch my recorded if you have missed a little bit of information. So what are the steps taken by the government to check the black marketing, smuggling and diversion of the fertilizers is, first they have come up with creating an online web-based monitoring system, which is called as the Integrated Fertilizer Monitoring System. This is very important again, for which among the following is an web-based monitoring system taken up by the central government to check the black marketing, smuggling and diversion of the fertilizers when the fertilizers have been described or brought under the Essential Commodities Act 1955. So which is the one, that is Integrated Fertilizer Monitoring System is the answer. Status King has joined. Very good morning to you, Status King. Very good morning to you. We are discussing in regards to the food security, farmers welfare. Prime Minister Narendra Modi wanting to double the farmers' income by 2022. On that basis, the government has gone ahead with the agricultural reforms in the or else in regards to the amendments to the Essential Commodities Act 1955, and then making sure that there are also reforms in the agricultural produce marketing committees, contract farming, and also in regards to various steps to making sure that the fertilizers are being protected by black marketing, smuggling and diversion of fertilizers. And then they have come up with a system called as Integrated Fertilizer Monitoring System, and both the state governments have been made sure that they will look into, or else you have the state institutional agencies to coordinate in regards to the manufacturing and importers of fertilizers to streamline the supply. So definitely the government has come up with various steps. That one of the steps is in regards to making sure that they coordinate with the manufacturers and the importers. So definitely it is the manufacturers who are very crucial in regards to the fertilizers, and also the importers. So definitely the manufacturers and importers are the crucial points of the junction wherein they could, that is the state government can try to check the black marketing, smuggling and diversion of the funds, diversion of the fertilizers, extremely sorry. And then this another step is in regards to the DAC and FW. DAC and FW. What is DAC and FW? This is the Department of Fertilizer and Department of Agriculture and Cooperation and Farmers Welfare. So Department of Fertilizers and Department of Agriculture and Cooperation, DAC and FW. FW is Farmers Welfare. So definitely it is in regards to the, we are talking about Department of Agriculture, we are talking about Cooperation and Farmers Welfare. Please, I'm splitting it so that you will understand better. I'm splitting it. Department of Fertilizers, Department of Agriculture, and then the other one is in regards to Cooperation and Farmers Welfare. And these are jointly they are reviving the fertilizers availability with the state agriculture department. So why it is very important? That because they are making sure that there is enough of fertilizers for the farmers for the next forthcoming season, so that they will be getting into the mode of making sure that there is sufficient fertilizers. They are not into black marketing, they are not into smuggling, or there is no diversion of the fertilizers. And then the Department of Fertilizer, Department of Agriculture and the Department of Cooperation and Farmers Welfare will definitely get into the mode of reviving the availability of the fertilizers, so that the fertilizers are being given or been having more of or sufficient to the farmers to get into the mode of agricultural. And not only that, as I have said, they will get into the mode that one of the step is to make sure that they are that means they will go ahead with printing the MRP on the fertilizers bag clearly. MRP they will print, and that is what you say, they should not go ahead with selling anything above the MRP price. And if they are selling above the MRP price, then they will be punishable under the Essential Commodities Act 1955. So definitely the Department of Fertilizers, Department of Agriculture, and the Department of Cooperation and Farmers Welfare are looking into the various steps, making sure that the government taken the steps to make sure that the black marketing, smuggling, and diversion of the fertilizers will not take place, and then there is enough of fertilizers which are present, and this will be tracked on the online web-based monitoring system that is called as integrated fertilizing monitoring system. And there will be definitely a print which will be taken up, that is the maximum retail price there will be print. And this, if there are anyone is avoiding it, or they are going ahead with selling the price above the MRP, then they will be punishable under the Essential Commodities Act 1955. And the state government as enforcement agencies are definitely being empowered, and this is again the additional information. I'm saying this is again an additional information which is not part of the article today, which is not part of article. And then the recent the Union Cabinet has also approved the amendment to the, as I've said, the Essential Commodities Act 1955. The amendment has taken place, and almost 65 years old, the Essential Commodities Act 1955 has been amended. And through the amendment, what they have done is they have removed cereals, or cereals you say, pulses, oil seeds, edible oils, and then onions and potatoes. That is, I repeat, as per the amendment to the Essential Commodities Act, which is almost 65 years old, that is 1955 Essential Commodities Act, they have removed the cereals, pulses, oil seeds, edible oils, onions, and potatoes from the list of essential commodities. This is very, very important for your better understanding, and also like you can mention it in your answer. What are the, how do you say, amendments, and which have been removed through the amendment? What have been removed? Which have been removed from the essential commodities? That is, which has been included is what? Please do understand. Which has been declared as an essential commodity under the Essential Commodities Act is fertilizers. Please do understand. Fertilizer has been included, and which has been removed is cereals, pulses, oil seeds, edible oils, onions, and potatoes have been removed. And then they have come up with an ordinance. The government has, Union Cabinet has come up with an ordinance, and this ordinance is to what? To remove the restriction. They have come up with an ordinance, and this ordinance is to what? To remove the restriction on farmers selling the produce outside the notified market yard. So definitely, as I was talking about the APMC, so earlier the farmers have to, what you say, definitely or compulsorily get the produce, that is the harvested produce, to the Agriculture Produce Marketing Committee, and then they have to sell it. And then whatever has been decided in the APMC, that is the Agriculture Produce Marketing Committee, they have to sell that to that particular price itself. But as many a times we have seen that the marketing committees or marketing mandis also you call it, so marketing committees or the marketing mandis, there would be, what you say, definitely the mediators or the traders, which wherein they would try to make sure that they would come up with a price wherein they decide the price which is very, very less to the one which the farmers have actually invested or throughout their entire agriculture. And then once they get harvested, once the harvesting has been done, and when they come to the marketing committees or to the marketing mandis to sell the produce, they are not getting the revenue what they have invested. So definitely the government has come up with an ordinance. Please do understand, the government has come up with an ordinance to remove the restrictions for the farmers. Now they have removed the restriction that the farmers can go ahead with selling the produce not only in the APMC but anywhere else itself. That is, now the farmers can facilitate, I mean, this ordinance has facilitated what? Contract farming. That means a person will come up, or else an farmer or a group of farmers or one who is actually wanting to go ahead with taking up the entire produce before or after the yield itself. That is, before itself he would come and then talk to the person, the farmer, and then have a deal with particular amount, and then that is called as contract farming itself. Before the what is a yielding itself or before the crop itself. That is the facility in the contract farmer, wherein the farmer should not, what you say, is not compulsion in making sure that he would reach the marketing committee to go ahead with the selling the produce, and then he can also now engage in the direct marketing. So that is in regards to the contract farming. And then the direct marketing, now the farmer is in a liberty to go ahead with the contract farming or also in the direct marketing. And this has brought up in regards to the changes or reforms in the agriculture produce marketing committee through an ordinance. Please to understand, this is through an ordinance. And the amendment to the Essential Commodities Act will deregulate the production, storage, movement and distribution. So definitely now the farmer has the will or liberty to go ahead with the production, to go ahead with the storage, to go ahead with the movement of the his produce, and then distribution itself. So definitely the distribution, movement, produce and then storage is at the, what do you say, at the liberty of the farmer, at the liberty of the farmer. And Satya says why they have removed the cereals, pulses, oilseeds, etc. from the essential commodities. So when it is essential commodities, definitely there could be a sense that the farmers are not getting the amount what they are actually investing, what they are investing. So definitely it is a kind of helping the farmers to make sure that once it is out of the essential commodities, then definitely they can go ahead with selling it in the direct marketing and also in the direct marketing and also the facilitate contract farming. I think you are getting it. So definitely it is what have I am discussing in this is very helpful, wherein it is not part of the article, but it will be definitely a very good conceptual understanding for you all. I think Satya has also understood now, and the center hopes now. And the center now hopes to increase private and foreign investment. So definitely the government has come up with the ordinance when it has said that you can go ahead with a direct marketing, contract farming and direct marketing. So when it is contract farming and direct marketing, so definitely there would be a chance that the private and the foreign investors will get into the contract farming and direct marketing, and then this will facilitate, that is in regards to I have spoken about in regards to the production, in regards to the movement, in regards to the storage, and in regards to the kind of facilities what we were discussing in regards to the distribution also. So all this when we are looking at this, that is in regards to production, movement, storage and distribution. Now what will happen is there will be getting, I mean, because of this no restriction, it will get into the mode of modernization of food supply chain. Please do understand this, because of the no restriction on the production, movement, supply and distribution, and because of the contract farming and the direct marketing which is been given at liberty to the farmers, that they need not go and, what you say, sell the produce in the agriculture produce marketing committee or mandis, and they have the liberty in regards to production, marketing, storage and distribution, wherein new concept will come into the picture, that is the modernization of food supply chain. And this is very important key phrase, modernization of food supply chain system, because of the agricultural reforms and adequate processing and storage facilities. So as I'm talking about the production and then movement, supply and distribution, now we'll have the adequate processing and also storage facilities. Why? Because once you have the adequate processing and the storage facilities, what it will help or how it will help the farmers is that it will help to reduce the wastage, because many a times we have seen the farmers, they will come to the market and at the end of the day, if the prices are very less, and then if they are unable to, what you say, get it back to the second day or the next day the produce, then definitely they will, it would be a waste and it will just throw them onto the roads and then they'll go. Then when it is a wastage, then definitely it will not increase the income, but it will reduce income. But if you are able to have that adequate processing and then storage facility, so this adequate processing and storage facility, that is in regards to the storage, distribution, movement and then production, will help the farmers to reduce the wastage and increase the income for farmers. That is what I was saying about, because this is what it is, that is the government or else the Prime Minister Narendra Modi is focusing on the doubling of the farmers income by 2022, and definitely the finance minister has come up with the food security or the farmers welfare, or else in regards to the agricultural reforms or agrarian reforms focusing on the agricultural sector, agricultural marketing is definitely in regards to the increasing the income of the farmers of the perishable commodities. So definitely this is what. And Sharon Davre has joined. Very good morning, Sharon. Sharon says, sir, I did miss much. Okay, no problem. You have the recorded one. You can also go ahead. Nothing to worry, Sharon. I'm talking about the food security, farmers welfare, and then doubling of the farmers' income by 2022, and then agricultural reforms, agrarian reforms, or reforms in the agricultural produce marketing committee, reforms in the agricultural sector, reforms in the agricultural produce itself. So definitely you will definitely understand, and the one which you have missed, you can also follow the recorded one. And to protect the consumers, that is the consumers also, not only farmers, the consumers, the amendment allows regulating during the war, famine, extraordinary price rise, and natural calamity. So definitely the amendment what they have gone ahead with in regards to the Essential Commodities Act 1955 is definitely making sure that even the consumers are also protected, because at the time of war, famine, or extraordinary price rise also, and natural calamity, or in regards to the at times wherein the exporters are definitely getting into the process. So at this situation also the farmers have been protected. And then you have the farming produce trade and commerce ordinance 2020, and this is very very important, and this ordinance is called as the farmers produce trade and commerce ordinance 2020. I repeat, or I'll write once again. And what is important for prelims point of view is this ordinance, and you can also mention it in your answer. What is that ordinance which has come up the government, that is in regards to the farmers produce trade and commerce promotion and facilitation ordinance 2020, and this is the one which is very very important that you need to mention in your answer. How the government is coming up, making sure that it helps the welfare, or it is for the welfare of the farmers, food security, doubling the farmers' income by 2022. That is the farmers produce trade and commerce protection and facilitation ordinance 2020. This is very very important, and this is aiming to what? Open up agricultural marketing outside notified mandis. That is what I have said. They need not, what you say, come and compulsorily they sell the produce in the agriculture produce marketing committees. They can sell outside the notified mandis for farmers, and also removes barriers to interstate trade. So definitely this will make sure that the farmers can go ahead with selling outside the notified mandis, and they can also get into the mode of interstate trade. They can get into the mode, please understand, or they can get into the mode of interstate trade. Earlier there were various barriers, hurdles, that interstate trade was not allowed in regards to the farmers selling the produce from one state to getting into another state and selling it. So now they have removed the barriers for the farmers to go ahead with selling the produce interstate, and then they can sell outside the mandis. And which is the ordinance? Please do understand, this is very important for the prelims. Which is the ordinance? That is the farming produce trade and commerce, farming produce trade and commerce promotion and facilitation ordinance 2020. This is very 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 important for prelims as well as mains examinations. And definitely when we are looking at this, both the agriculture and markets are state subject. So definitely this is very very important again for prelims point of view, because this article which I have taken up is of entire keywords and the key phrases which are certainly very very important for prelims as well as mains. And then agriculture and marketing both are state subject, because there could be a possibility in the prelims being asked which among the following is not the state subject. So agriculture is state subject, market is state subject, fine. Health is a state subject. So definitely all this when you are looking at, so one of the is not the state subject. If you ask in regards to agriculture and markets are also the state subject, and this the center is counting on the fact that trade and commerce in foodstuff is part of the concurrent list. So definitely what is in the concurrent list, what the center is definitely counting or on the fact that what is in the concurrent list. So what is in the concurrent list? That is the trade and commerce in regards to what? Foodstuffs, that is in regards to the items which are in regards to food items. So definitely Again, please do understand, when it is agriculture and market, or agriculture and market, both are the state subject. So why the center is coming up with the ordinance? You should get a doubt. Why the center is coming up with the ordinance in regards to the the agriculture produce marketing committee, wherein the farmers should not or they are free to go ahead with the outside the notified mandis, and also interstate trade they can go ahead, because the foodstuff, that is the trade and commerce which takes place in the food items. Trade and commerce, please do understand, it is a conceptual one. Trade and commerce which takes place in the food items are part of the concurrent list. That is why the center is now coming up with the ordinance. Please do understand, you should get it out, and you must get it out, that why did the central government come up with the ordinance in regards to agriculture and marketing produce? Because trade and commerce in food items are part of the concurrent list. When it is part of the concurrent list, definitely center will get into action, and that is why the center has come up with the ordinance. Please do understand this concept. What I am saying is very very important while you are writing for the mains, and also when you are being asked in the examinations. I mean, in regards to even your interview also, because agriculture and markets are the state subject, but if you look at the trade and commerce in the food items are part of the concurrent list. That is why center has come up with the ordinance. And you have the other one, that is the farmers empowerment and protection agreement on price assurance and farm services ordinance 2020. So look at two ordinances which are again very very important for prelims point of view. The first ordinance is in regards to the farming produce trade and commerce. The farming produce trade and commerce. That is why I am saying, that is why when it is trade and commerce, it is a trade and commerce in the food items, it is a concurrent list. It falls under concurrent list. That is why the center has come up with the ordinance. That is, the ordinance is in regards to the farming produce and trade and commerce promotion and facilitation agreement, facilitation ordinance 2020. That talks about what? The farmers can go ahead with selling the produce outside the notified mandi, and interstate trade can take place. And the other one is the farmers empowerment. This is a key phrase, please do understand, or make a note in your answer. The farmers empowerment and protection agreement on price assurance and farm services ordinance 2020 is aimed at what? It is aimed at contract farming. It is aimed at contract farming. Very very important. Where a private buyer or a contractor, what is contract farming? Wherein a buyer or a contractor will purchase a crop, please do understand, will purchase a crop at a certain price at the beginning of the season itself. At the beginning of the season itself, transferring the risk of market unpredictability from the farmer to the corporate sponsor. So definitely, if there is any kind of market unpredictability, or else in regards to any kind of natural calamity also, definitely here in this case the contract farming which is into the farmer and then the buyer, the entire pressure, that is the risk, will be now passed on to the corporate sponsor. So definitely the two ordinances are very very important for the prelims, and also in regards to the mains. While you are writing answer, you need to definitely put it into your answer. Two ordinances, and why they are there, just 2 or 3 lines you can write this. So definitely the two ordinance taken up by that is in regards to trade and commerce. One which is in regards to the avoiding or not getting into the notified mandis and interstate trade, and the other one is contract farming. These developments came as Indian agriculture sector was impacted. Why? Because the initial itself I said that the government of India was forced to go ahead with the agricultural reforms, because of the COVID-19 pandemic situation, or the entire lockdown which has taken place, and that has created definitely a sense to go ahead with the reforms, or agrarian reforms. And why? To make sure that there would be a better livelihoods because of the post lockdown. And we have seen, because of the lockdown, livelihoods were badly hit, and then there were crippling bottlenecks in the supply chain system itself. And in the supply chain system itself, there was definitely what you say bottleneck that was kind of total squeezing of the supply chain system has taken place, and also the prices have risen very high, that is skyrocketing prices have taken place, and this has become that the prices where they have come up and starting dumping them at the throwaway prices. So definitely the farmers were stuck with inventory, and definitely when they were stuck with the inventory, that is in regards to the stocks, so definitely they were sometimes they were selling at very meager price. When they were selling at the meager price in the agriculture produce marketing committee, and then the traders or the middlemen were making what do you say profits out of it, making a lot of profits or revenue out of the entire what do you say crippling of the supply chain system, which has been badly hit. And now because of that, the government has come up with the various ordinances to protect the farmers income, and many have been reminded hungry. One as the we have seen Food Corporation of India is definitely a godown which is having what do you say overflowing of grain stock, which is almost 3 times the buffer stocks which it actually has. But still we have seen that due to various scenarios, the migrant workers were not into the mode of getting the food grains adequately, and many of them were starving, with hunger. And then definitely we have seen the kind of situation what it is, that many a times we have seen the people that is from the villages they get to the cities, but this time it was from cities to the villages the people were getting into it, and they were forced to return to their homes because of the COVID-19 pandemic situation. And because of the COVID-19 pandemic situation, the government, as I said, was forced to go ahead with the agrarian reforms, and this is what we have seen, that cities moving the laborers moving from the cities to the villages is the historic reverse migration. And this has really caused a sense that it is very important that we need to look at the food security, and then we need to make sure that there is no hungry no I mean there is no one who is with hungriness, that is food security is there. And then along with the food security, we need to also look at the farmers welfare. Food security and farmers welfare is the need of the hour. And then with this migration, poor and vulnerable people were definitely getting back to the hinterlands, that is to the villages of India. And then the government has also come up with the one nation one ration card, and this is very very important, that because if this kind of situation arises in the future on any kind of pandemic situation, or else the migrant workers who are moving from the villages to the cities, and when the migrant worker is moving from the villages to the cities, so definitely villages to the cities, so definitely the head of the family or the one who is moving to the cities, and the family who is in the villages, they can apportionate, they can divide uh, the the kind of whatever ration is been given to them, it can be divided, and they can have this one nation one card. Once they have the card, they can go ahead with availing the ration anywhere in the India, and this can be as part of the immediate relief for the hunger in the future, also now and also in the future. And definitely the release of food quantities for food grains and pulses is now being taken up by the for to the migrant workers without ration card. So definitely we have seen the one who are not part of the ration card, or even in regards to they are not part of the having the ration card, but still the government has through the PDS system, given the migrants the or provided the migrants with the essential commodities or the food grains or the cereals or pulses without the ration cards. And this have been taken up even for the month of June and July will be taken up, and this implementation throughout the India it will take, and it will fill the gap. This is very very important, that is providing the food grains and the cereals or pulses to the migrant workers who are not having the ration card for the month of June and July also will fill the gap between the policy prescription and the implementation. And this once it takes place, so definitely it will be favorable to the migrant workers who are not having the ration card. And now the one nation one ration card will definitely benefit the migrant workers who are moving from one state to another state, or villages to the cities when they are coming on, when they are moving for the jobs. And then we have seen, just as the rabi crops were said to be harvested, seasonal rain and hailstorm arrived at the beginning of the year. So definitely now the rabi crop is done, and then the kharif crop is definitely to be get into the process. And we have seen the hailstorms or heavy rains, hailstorms hailstorms or heavy rains we have experienced, and that has also caused the farmers output, that is the harvesting season, the output has been affected. And not only in regards to this heavy rains and then the hailstorm, but also in regards to the locust also. That is, the locust is what, the tropical grasshoppers. The tropical grasshoppers have also damaged the crops, and this will loom the people, that is the farmers who have taken loans, and then they will get into the more of poverty. They will be stricken to the poverty if the government is not trying to look at the produce which has been totally damaged because of the unseasonal rain and hailstorm, and also because of the locust invasion. And then the other one is, we have seen the RBI has also come into the rescue of the farmers in regards to the extension of moratorium. Moratorium is what, the suspension or temporary relief in regards to the EMIs which the farmers have taken place, and they have extended to 3 months. That is, they have extended for August till August 31st. That is the EMIs, that is the extension of the moratorium. Moratorium is what, the temporary suspension of paying the amount, that is the EMI, the amount for 3 months, that is extended to August 31st. And this is a system of informal borrowing. So definitely this will not really affect the farmers, because many of the farmers are not relying on the, what do you say, loans given by the RBI to the or RBI further to the corporation banks and then regional rural banks. So many of the farmers do not take loans from the corporation banks or else from the regional rural banks, but they are dependent on one system, that is a system of informal borrowing. This is very, very important. You need to mention while you are writing in the main, system of informal borrowing. You should not write that they borrow the money from the money lenders. No, it is not that. It is a system of informal borrowing. This is a keyword or the key phrase. You need to use it. And this definitely, the RBI which has taken that decision in regards to the extension of moratorium does not really benefit the farmers. Farmers, please do understand, this is the one which is not really positively affecting or benefiting the farmers. And the government has also hiked the MSP for 14 kharif crops. So definitely you have the MSP, and the MSP has been hiked by the government of India to the farmers, that is in regards to 14 kharif crops. And this will definitely kind of extend some kind of relief due to the lack of manpower, working capital, machinery and shortage. Why? Because of the national lockdown, because of the, what is a, migrant workers moving from the cities to villages, migrant workers moving from cities to villages. This will create, what do you say, a kind of relief, because they are in short of farmers, they are short of lack of manpower in the fields, working capital is also less, machinery is also not that too high, and the storage capacity is also not that too high. So definitely this is a situation wherein the government has come forward in trying to make sure that it has also hiked the MSP, so that the farmers will get the amount of revenue invested during the agriculture time, and the outcome will be definitely benefited to the farmers income. And what are the steps which are required, or which the economists are suggesting? And this is very, very important for the prelims point of view and mains point of view, because you can write directly the steps or the measures which has to be taken to make sure that the farmers will be benefited. That is to switch from cash to food crops, to switch from cash to food crops. So what are the steps, or what are the measures the economists are suggesting for the farmers to make sure that it will be farmers welfare, it will be we will be getting into the mode of food security, so that we will actually get in the mode of the farmers will be doubling their income. First is switching from cash to food crops, and then they have to listen to Prime Minister what he has said, that go local message and invest in redirecting supply chains locally. So definitely redirecting supply chains locally is very very important, wherein it is also the economists are suggesting that it has to be followed, and then increase government allocation to poor farmers through what? PM Kisan scheme. So this again keyword wherein you need to focus on the PM Pradhan Mantri Kisan scheme, by including everyone, even those who do not own a land. And the fourth one is ensure timely availability of seeds and fertilizers. These are very very important, because these are the areas wherein the farmers are or will be, they had and they will be getting into the mode of non-availability of the seeds and fertilizers, and wherein actually the time will be gradually moving away for the sowing season, I mean the next season. So definitely the seeds availability and the fertilizers availability has to be, what is it, ensured. And how it can be ensured? By roping gram sabhas to verify claimants. So gram sabhas have to come into mode to make sure that they ensure the availability of the seeds and fertilizers, wherein there is no black marketing, there is no smuggling of the seeds and fertilizers, and also diversion of the seeds and fertilizers taking place, because now the fertilizers are being brought under the Essential Commodities Act 1955, and then Food Control Order 1985, and then Food Movement Control Order 1973. And we should involve the farmers produce organizations, and this is very very important. You have an organization called as the farmer producer organization. So what the economists are suggesting is the involvement of the farmer produce organization in the process of ensuring the safeguard of farmers right. So whenever the government is talking about the farmers rights or farmers welfare or doubling the farmers income, that is farmers right, farmers welfare, or doubling the farmers income, the government has to involve the farmer producer organization. That is what it is very clear, and this you please take it into consideration, that you can put it in your mains answer. So these are the suggestions which are being given by the economists, so that the farmers will be benefited, farmers rights will be protected, farmers welfare will be taken into consideration, and doubling of the farmers income will be actually a reality by 2022. And then we have also seen that the world has observed. So we have seen that the world has observed the World Hunger Day, and it is on May 28th. Recently, 2020 it has, and then every year May 28th. And this is again in regards to the prelims point of view. World Hunger Day was on May 28th, 2020. And India, why I am talking about this is India has been ranked out of 117, 102. India is ranked 102 out of 117 qualifying countries on the Global Hunger Index. So you have an index called as Global Hunger Index, and India is 102 out of 117. And definitely agriculture, when we look at 50 percentage or almost 50 to 60 percentage of our country's population depends on the farm based income. But what is the agriculture accounts for the India's GDP? 17 percentage. So look at 50 to 60 percentage of them, I mean the India's population, are dependent on farm based income. But what is the contribution to the GDP, that is in regards to the agricultural accounts, is 17 percentage. And this is very very important for your better understanding and in regards to the prelims point of view and mains. What is that? It is accounting to the India's GDP, that is 17 percentage. Agricultural accounts is accounting for the 17 percentage of the India's GDP. And then what I was repeatedly re-emphasizing, that is our Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of doubling the farmers' income in 2 years, that is 2022. 2 years, that is 2022, seems to be a distant dream. Why? Because of the pandemic situation which has, what do you say, caused. And this, the climate scientists are also warned about climate change. So definitely the pandemic situation and then the climate change will definitely impact or could impact the the Prime Minister's vision in regards to doubling the farmers' income by 2022, and the resilience of Indian farmers have meant that the nation was fed even through multiple lockdowns. So we have seen various lockdowns in India because of the COVID-19 situation, but definitely we have seen the entire nation was fed with the good amount of food grains which are in the godowns if FCI, and then we have fed the country without much of delays also. And now it is our turn to give them a brighter day. So definitely it is very important that we need to focus on the farmers. That is, farmers are really important, and then we need to make sure that even the migrant workers are also important. At the same time, making it very clear that the farmers welfare is important, farmers respect is important, farmers doubling the farmers income by 2022 is also very very important. So we have looked at various points for prelims and also mains point of view, emphasizing on various keywords and then key phrases, making it very clear that how it is very very important for prelims as well as mains examinations, as well as prelims as well as mains examinations. So this was I was making it very clear that how my session will be helpful for, because in this scenario also I have discussed about ordinances wherein the government has taken up, because it is the trade and commerce of the food items which falls under the concurrent list, even though the agriculture and markets is under the state subject, but the trade and commerce in regards to food items falls under the concurrent list. That is why the government has come up with the two ordinances. So we have also discussed in regards to this agriculture marketing reforms, and also all this is in regards to various steps how the fertilizers has been considered as the essential commodities act, and how what are the various steps taken to check the black marketing, smuggling, and then the diversion of the fertilizers. And what are the various acts, please do look into it. These are very very important for prelims, and also very important while you are writing answer. See, I'm telling you, just writing an answer which is normal doesn't really fetch you marks. You need to write an answer wherein there are ordinances. I did talk about the entire ordinance you need to mention, and here when we are talking about fertilizers, it is the acts, that is the Essential Commodities Act 1955, Notified Fertilizer Control Order 1985, Fertilizers Movement Control Order 1973. So all these are, when you are writing, please do mention these acts. Please do mention this act, and then only you will have that, what do you say, complete answer. Complete answer, and then you will be having that extra 2 to 3 marks, 3 to 4 marks, 3 to 5 marks, and that extra 2 to 3 or 3 to 5 marks will only make you get into the top 100 or top 50, top 100 or top 50, and that is very very important. And that is why I reiterate, re-emphasize my tagline saying that keywords and key phrases are very very important, and that is how you need to focus also while you are reading the newspaper. Emphasize on the keywords and the key phrases, and then make them into part of your answer or a part of your short notes, and that is definitely making it very clear that you invite those keywords and the key phrases which wherein your answer will be very very effective, and thereby you will score definitely higher marks than the others. So I hope it was a very very informative knowledgeable session. Entire I've given entire information, and that is very very important for you. I mean, which I've taken an extra efforts to put in, that you will be benefited. And then do like the video, share the video, and then subscribe the video. That is, let's crack UPSC CSE English. And then while you are subscribing for 12 or 24 months, do use my code SBT10. That is Sandeep Bhushan Thummala 10, wherein you can avail 10% discount. And the other channel which you have also is UPSC CS English. The telegram link is let's crack UPSC CS English. And if you haven't downloaded the Unacademy Learners app, do download the Unacademy Learners app, and then be part of the Unacademy special classes. And once you are part of the Unacademy special classes, you can have access to various courses by various educators. So do take the advantage of downloading the Unacademy Learners app and be part of the Unacademy special classes. And then you can also connect to me through my telegram link, that is t.me/Sandeep Bhushan SBT, t.me/Sandeep Bhushan SBT. And then thank you all, and then all the best for your preparation. Get into the mode of consistency, get into the mode of consistency, and then do take care of your physical health, mental health, and stick to the schedule. And see you tomorrow again at 7:30 a.m. And then this is the first session, and the second session at 10:15 a.m. Thank you very much. All the best. Do what do you say? Have a focused approach to your preparation. See you tomorrow at